Welcome back to the Daily English Podcast by Simple English Conversations. This is episode 10, and I'm Max, here with the ever so knowledgeable Nora. How are you doing today, Nora?
I'm doing well, thanks, Max. Excited for today's episode. We're going to explore a phrase that's quite common but still intriguing. A dime a dozen.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a phrase that sounds like it's about shopping or prices, but it actually means that something is very common and therefore not particularly valuable or special.
Exactly. And it's a great example of how English can use monetary terms in figurative ways. A dime is a 10-cent coin in the United States, so if you can get a dozen of something for a dime, it suggests that those items aren't worth very much.
It's interesting to think about how the value of currency changes over time, but the phrase has stuck around. To give our listeners a tip, idioms like a dime a dozen are a fantastic way to add flavor to your language. They can make your English sound more colorful and expressive.
Let's see it in action. You might say, reality shows are a dime a dozen these days, to express how common they've become and how they no longer feel unique or special.
Or, advice on losing weight is a dime a dozen, but finding a plan that works is much harder. This sentence not only uses the idiom, but also emphasizes the difference between common and valuable advice.
Those are great examples, Max. And here's a challenge for our listeners. Think about something in your life or surroundings that feels like it's a dime a dozen and try to describe it using this idiom. Remember, the more you practice, the more natural these expressions will feel.
Speaking of things that are not a dime a dozen, it's time for our interesting fact or tip of the day. Did you know that there are over 1,000 different languages spoken in Papua New Guinea? This diversity makes it the most linguistically diverse place on Earth.
That's an incredible fact, Max. It really puts into perspective how unique and valuable language is. In a world full of common things, the ability to communicate in different languages is truly special.
Well said, Nora. That wraps up today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the phrase a dime a dozen with us. Keep practicing your English, and remember, while some phrases are common, your learning journey is unique.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back with more insights and tips to help you improve your English. Until next time, take care.
Goodbye, and see you in the next episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Daily English Podcast by Simple English Conversations. I'm Max, and with me is the wonderful Nora. How's life treating you, Nora?
It's treating me well, thanks, Max. I'm really excited for today's episode because we're going to tackle an idiom that's all about avoiding the main point, beat around the bush.
Beat around the bush. It's such a visual phrase, isn't it? When you beat around the bush, you're avoiding getting to the heart of the matter, usually because it's uncomfortable or difficult to discuss.
That's right. And it comes from the old hunting technique of beating the bushes to flush out birds without going directly into them. It's a metaphor for not addressing something head-on. For our listeners, this idiom is a great example of how English often uses colourful, indirect ways to express complex ideas or behaviours.
Definitely. And knowing idioms like this one can really enrich your conversational skills. Here's a sentence using our idiom. Stop beating around the bush and tell me what you really think about my new project.
Perfect example, Max. And here's another. When I asked him about the missing reports, he just beat around the bush instead of giving me a straight answer. It really illustrates someone not being direct.
Exactly, Nora. Now it's your turn, listeners. Try to come up with a situation where you might need to use beat around the bush. Remember, practicing with real-life scenarios can help make these idioms stick.
Speaking of sticking, it's time for our tip or fact of the day. Did you know that the English language borrows words and phrases from over 350 other languages? This diversity is what gives English its rich vocabulary and array of idioms.
That's a fascinating fact, Nora. It shows how language is constantly evolving and adapting, and it's a reminder that learning English, or any language, is not just about memorizing rules, but also about embracing its history and diversity.
Well said, Max. We hope today's episode has given you a better understanding of the idiom beat around the bush and inspired you to use it in your own conversations. Remember, every idiom you learn is a step towards more fluent English.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're excited to continue this journey with you, exploring the nuances of the English language. Until next time, keep practicing and don't beat around the bush with your learning.
Bye for now, and see you in the next episode.
Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to episode 12 of the Daily English Podcast by Simple English Conversations. I'm Max, and joining me is the insightful Nora. How are you on this fine day, Nora?
I'm doing well, Max, especially since we're about to dive into a very encouraging idiom. Better late than never. It's a great reminder that it's never too late to start something or make a change, even if you've been delaying it.
That's a great point, Nora. This idiom is often used to acknowledge that while something may have been delayed, it's still better for it to happen at a later time than not at all. It's a positive way to look at procrastination or delays.
Absolutely, Max. It's also a gentle nudge for those of us who might be a bit too hard on ourselves for not doing things on time. A tip for our listeners, using idioms like better late than never can help soften your message, making it sound more supportive and understanding.
That's a valuable insight, Nora. Let's use it in a sentence to give our listeners a clearer picture. I finally started learning to play the piano at age 60. Better late than never, right? This shows that it's never too late to pursue new interests or goals.
Love that example, Max. Here's another. He apologized for missing my birthday party, but I told him better late than never. It's a forgiving response that acknowledges the effort despite the delay.
Those are fantastic examples, Nora. Now it's time for our listeners to get involved. Think of a situation where you could say, better late than never. Perhaps you've put off starting a project, reaching out to an old friend, or even picking up a new hobby.
And while you're pondering that, let's share our interesting fact or tip for the day. Did you know that learning a new skill can improve your brain health? According to neuroscience research, learning something new can create new neural pathways, which helps keep the brain sharp.
That's incredibly motivating, Nora. It really ties back to our idiom today. No matter your age or stage in life, it's never too late to learn something new. And better late than never to start.
Exactly, Max. We hope today's episode inspires you to take action on something you've been postponing. Remember, the most important step is the next one.
Thanks for joining us for another episode. We're excited to continue this journey with you, exploring the richness of the English language. Until next time, keep learning and remember, it's better late than never.
Goodbye, everyone. Catch you in the next episode.